Good evening, everybody. This is Robert Ovadia, your Public Works Director. Let's give a few minutes for more people to join in tonight. All right. Good evening, everybody. I am Robert Ovadia, the Public Works Director for the town of Atherton. And I do want to thank you all for joining us this evening. Before we get started, I would like to just go through a couple of housekeeping notes. And so for some of you that are joining us on Zoom, a lot of you are familiar with how it works, but for those that are not familiar, I want to say thank you for joining us in this virtual reality. We do appreciate it. We will be trying to acknowledge those folks that have joined us by telephone and don't have screens in front of them with regards to the presentation. So we do have opportunities for you to ask questions as well as to participate both as we make this presentation as we move into breakout rooms. And so the primary ways that you can participate and ask questions would be first through our chat window. You can, at the bottom of your screen, if you move your mouse, you'll see a menu and there is a chat box. So if you click on chat, it will open up a chat window and you can type in a message and ask a question there. Or under participants, you can, at the bottom of participants is an area to raise your hand. And so if you click that, you'll get a notation that you would like to speak or ask a question. And please do use those. For those that are on the phone, we know that you can't join us by chat, but you can raise your hand by hitting *9. Again, that's *9 to raise your hand if you're on the phone. So during the presentation, for those that are on the computer, there will be a couple of polling questions that pop up. There was one that started a little earlier. And so we do appreciate if you are able to provide us with some of the with your answer to these questions. It'll help us gather some information so that we can better communicate with you and understand what your concerns are. After the formal presentation, we will be moving into breakout rooms. And that'll be basically based on, we have divided the town into a few areas. And with the participants tonight, we will be moving into 2 different groups, and we'll be asking you later on if we haven't pre-registered you with regards to the area of interest. We'll be breaking out one room for the area east of El Camino and another room for the area west of El Camino. And so you'll be invited to join at the appropriate time. And what you will do is you'll click on the bar that shows up on your screen. And so thank you for bearing with me while I ran through the housekeeping measures. So thank you again for joining us tonight. I do want to acknowledge that we have our city manager as well as a couple of council members with us. I see Elizabeth Lewis has joined us, as well as Mike Lempres. I'm going to check real quick to see if we have any others. I know George Rodrigues, our city manager, is with us as well. So thank you for joining. And so we are in the process of developing a neighborhood traffic management action plan to help us address traffic and mobility issues and concerns throughout the town, including on local streets and main roadways. The town and the city council are well aware that traffic and mobility issues are a primary concern for the residents, and the council has authorized this effort to better understand the key issues and concerns of the residents and to develop an action plan by which we can address them. And so to that end, our first step in the process is hearing from you. And so we've set up 2 listening sessions to hear your issues and concerns, both today and next Thursday. Both meetings are intended to be the same. We are eager to get your input, your neighbors' input, and we have additional opportunities for input online as well as via email. And so please participate. We'll be going through how you can do that later on in the presentation. After we gather that input, we're going to look at what potential solutions might be to address the issues that are raised, and move forward with trying to develop a comprehensive traffic management action plan. So again, the purpose of tonight's meeting as well as next week's meeting is to hear from you. We want to know what you feel are important, what the major issues are in town. And so it's not for us to talk about solutions, it's really to get feedback from you as to what the key issues that you feel are important for the town to address. So at this time, I'd like to introduce the project team. We have from TJKM helping us in this effort, Ruda Jarawala, Ian Lynn, Divya Gandhi, Ria Debnath, and Dawal Kataria. And so they're going to help me and the town manage this process. Several of them will be managing the breakout rooms as we move to them. And again, thank you for participating tonight. We're going to go a little bit over the background of the project and what's led us to this point, an outline of the project, some potential traffic calming measures that could be used, but we are not at this point predetermining what the solutions might be, where they might be applicable. Again, that's going to be a later phase in the process, and we will be certainly outreaching again to the community to see what your thoughts are with regards to any proposed measures. We'll be reviewing some feedback tools, particularly our website and the opportunities for providing input through that avenue, and some of our next steps. And then following that, we'll be going into those breakout rooms so that you can specifically raise concerns in your neighborhood or throughout the town in the breakout rooms. And so we have the first poll. The question is, how did you hear about tonight's meeting? We tried to outreach through a variety of avenues. And that includes through the town's website. We've issued news flashes. We've mailed out postcards. Hopefully you've gotten those. There was an article in the Almanac News. There were postings on social media. You may have heard of it from a friend, family member, or neighbor, or from somewhere else. We really want to know what is an effective way to outreach to the community. And so by providing your feedback here, it really will help us understand how how you were reached and how we can better reach you and your neighbors in the future. And so we'll give a few minutes for that to go on. We only have a few participants that have answered thus far. If you answered earlier, please answer again, because I think that was just a test that was put up earlier on. So again, please provide your feedback. Okay, we'll give it another minute. Looks like half of you have answered so far. And mailer and postcard seems to be the way that the majority of you heard of this, and we appreciate that. We'll give it just another couple seconds before we move on. All right. So thank you. So as a measure of background, the town has been looking at traffic and transportation issues for quite a while. A while back, the town developed a bicycle and pedestrian master plan. The town developed a neighborhood traffic management plan that provides an outline of various opportunities for addressing traffic in the neighborhoods. And part of the reason for this effort is that not many people have taken advantage of that opportunity, and so we are outreaching to the community in a fell swoop to try and gather where key issues are. And so with that effort, you know, we have, again, broken up the town into a couple areas so that we can solicit input and hear from you. And we know that traffic and mobility are a major concern for our residents. And so with regards to the project outline, you know, we've done a couple of studies to help us understand a little bit with regards to some underlying issues in town. There was a study that was done specifically on the Alameda corridor, as well as a town-wide traffic study to kind of see where traffic, what kind of traffic patterns we have, where we have pass-through traffic and some potential cut-through traffic areas. And that's analytical data, but we really want to hear again from you what your issues and concerns are. And so we have this listening session today as well as the one next Thursday. Following those listening sessions, we're going to distill that information, summarize the feedback that we've received. We'll be presenting that information to you on our website, just kind of a rundown of the kind of feedback that we've gotten. We'll then be moving forward to trying to develop some potential alternatives. And then we'll be making a presentation with regards to those alternatives and seeking your feedback on what you think will work, understanding that there are always trade-offs where you potentially might think a solution will work in a particular area, but we'll be going over solutions, the benefits and drawbacks of each of those to get feedback and to get your input with regards to priorities before we present a report out to the town council and the transportation committee. And then once we get their feedback, we're looking forward to developing the action plan that will give us a layout of how to move forward in addressing some of these problems. And so here's our second polling question. And this is, what is your top traffic, safety, and mobility related concern? Anthony, if you can pull that up on the screen. The options that we have for those of you that are on the phone, we have congestion, speeding, line of sight or visibility issues, cut through traffic, inadequate walkways or crosswalks, lack of bicycle facilities, streets being too dark, personal safety, inadequate or illegal parking, construction traffic, construction parking. So these are just some of the items that we know might be a concern for you. and we want to get your feedback as to whether any of these items resonate with you as a top priority for the town. So we'll give a couple of minutes for that to happen. Okay, I'm going to apologize. I do not at this point see the results of the poll, and I will thank those of you that have participated. Okay, let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it looks like we have about 44% that are saying that speeding is a priority issue, as well as 44% on cut-through. There's some concern with regards to personal safety and congestion. And so thank you all for participating in the poll. I believe that we have a raised hand, but I will hold on just a minute as we get through a couple more slides before we open up to some questions. And so as I indicated, though we're not talking solutions at this point, we did want to share a couple of tools that are in our toolbox. And that includes, pedestrian improvements, crossing improvements, signage, striping, speed feedback signs, targeted enforcement. These are all things that are in the toolbox, as well as some other things, including potential roadway narrowing in certain areas, turn restrictions, speed lumps, traffic circles, flashing beacons at crosswalks. Again, these are tools. We're not predetermining which tool or where they would go at this point. Again, we're here to listen to you as to where the issues are so that we can look at what the potential solutions might be. With regards to our next steps, we're going to be shortly moving into breakout sessions so that we can have that one-on-one dialogue with you. We will be having the same meeting next week, same agenda. Feel free to join us next week if you have something that occurs to you between now and then and you didn't have an opportunity to speak or raise your hand with regards to your concerns. But there are also avenues for you to do so online if you don't feel comfortable talking to us directly. Again, we'll be summarizing the feedback received from the listening sessions, as well as the surveys that are posted online. And we'll be putting all of that on our website. Again, we've broken up the town into a few different zones and different neighborhoods. For the purpose of tonight's meeting, with the number of folks that we have, we've decided to break out into two separate rooms. One room will be focused on the area east of El Camino, and the other room will be focused on that area west of El Camino. All right, and so at this time,
Robert,
we'll be opening. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Robert, I think we need to go back a couple of slides. Most probably you skipped one more right there. Yeah.
Okay, I
No worries.
apologize. Why don't you go ahead? Ruta?
Yeah. So I'm just going to echo what Robert said, that this is a very, very important session or workshop for us, because we want to hear from you what your concerns are within your neighborhood, because you are the best judge, and we want to take this opportunity to make sure that we do listen to all your concerns that you have. Now, to do that, we have created different methods and means to facilitate, giving you that opportunity to get to us and let us know what your comments are. The first one is the project website. For the people who are on the phone, who cannot look at the presentation, the project website is, the URL for the project website is www.athertontrafficmanagement.com. It is a live website. It is going to be live throughout the life of the project. So any update that we do throughout the project will be updated on that website. So we really urge you to go and visit that website to get all the updates throughout the project. Along with that, we have two different means of soliciting inputs from you. One is an interactive map, and I'm going to go through that in a few minutes as to how to use it, just in case if you haven't had a chance to go to the project website. And then there is a short survey with probably 10 to 12 questions. Very simple, wouldn't take you more than 3 to 5 minutes to answer that, but that would really help us to understand you better and your needs better. With that, I'm going to share my screen here. So here is the project website that we have created specifically for this project. And as I mentioned, this is a live website throughout the life of the project. Couple of tabs that we could go through. The first one is the project overview, kind of gives you the overview of the project, where did we evolve from, and that just was given by Robert just a few minutes ago, that why we think that this project is important. And the most important reason is to get the feedback from community. We want to make sure that whatever we implement, you are going to like that, and that's going to make difference for you in the community. So that kind of gives you an overview of the project. Providing input, again, as I mentioned, there are two ways of providing input to us. One is to take a survey, and the other one is the interactive map input. If you click on Take a Survey tab, it would lead you to another tab which has a couple of questions. And as I said, they are very, very simple questions. Which neighborhood do you belong to? How often do you drive? How often do you walk through your neighborhood? So we would really like to know that. And it doesn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes to answer this. Towards the end of the survey, we urge you to leave your information, because that would help us to notify you regarding upcoming events. We don't want you to miss any workshops or any public meetings or any project updates. So please do fill this out so that we can send you regular emails on the update of the project. And once you're done, you can just hit done, and it will get you out. The other way we could get your input is through interactive map input. And I really, really like this tool because you can actually go to the exact location that you are concerned about. For example, there are two ways you can do it. You can either pin a location. Say, for example, if you do have an issue at a particular intersection, then you can pin that intersection and tell us what your concerns are. And then the other way of doing it is drawing a line. So if you do have an issue with a particular segment, then you can draw a line and say, this is the segment where I have an issue and what is your concern. I'm going to give you an example for pinning a location. Say, for example, we do have an issue at the intersection of Middlefield and Watkins. So you take that point put it right there, say that's the correct location. I agree. My concern over here is it's really difficult to make left from Watkins onto, oh, sorry, from Middlefield onto Watkins, or Watkins onto Middlefield, either way.
It'd be Watkins to Middlefield.
Yeah, Watkins to Middlefield. Or anything else you can add, and then you can just save that. Say you have another issue, and it does not limit you to number of locations you can pin. You can go back, you can say, draw a line. I can draw a line from this block to the other block, which is the block between Heritage and Palmer Lane, and right there, and say, could you please look into providing pedestrian facility, or any other concern you might have. You can save that. Go next. This is just information to Robert's email and phone number, just in case if you have any other issues, please feel free to contact him. And done. And that is it. So just wanted to give you a little bit of kind of a trial to how can you use the two different methods of giving us your input. The other tab, the next tab is outreach event information. So we will be updating all our sessions right here, just like this one. Today we are, it is August 6th, 6 to 8. We are going to have the first listening session. If you weren't able to attend or weren't able to give all your inputs, you're welcome to join August 13th also. It's going to be exactly same presentation. So if your family, friends have missed this presentation today due to any of the conflicts, please ask them to attend the August 13th workshop, because we're going to go through the same thing again on August 13th. This just gives us flexibility so that everyone has a chance to attend the workshop. Along with that, if you go to project updates and you want to be updated, there is a subscribe tab here, which you can click and you can leave your information, and we will make sure that we send you regular emails regarding the project. Download. As Robert mentioned, Town has really put in a lot of effort working on other plans also. And we want to make sure that we don't reinvent the wheel. We build on the effort that was put together before and build on top of it. So if you want to look at any previous studies that were done, then we have uploaded them in this particular area, and you can download them, review them, or have any questions, please do let us know. Stay Connected is again where you could subscribe for getting the project updates. And not only that, we would really want to hear back from you or get your feedback on the first workshop. So if you want us to fine tune our process, or if we have missed something or you didn't like anything, then do send us the comments and we would make sure that we incorporate that in the second workshop. And I think with that, Robert, I'm going to stop sharing.
We do have a raised hand. And so I don't have a name, but I do have last four digits, 4961. So I'm going to unmute you. Hello?
I hit that by accident. I don't have a question at this point. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, that's not a problem. I do want to say that we did receive a message in the chat window from a resident that was having some difficulty in putting information on the map with through their telephone. You are welcome to reach out to me directly. Either myself or somebody from the project team will reach out to you. to help you with any technical issues that you have. Alternatively, you are more than welcome to submit via email if it's easier for you that way. Again, we're going to be heading into the breakout room shortly, so you'll be able to also provide your issues there. Okay. And so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open up. If there's any questions or comments that you have before we migrate our way into the breakout room, please raise your hand, and we'll try and call on you. Again, if you're on your telephone and don't have the raise your hand feature ready to you, if you hit *9, it'll do that as well. So I do not see any raised hands.
You have Miss
Robert, we do
we
have
have
one. Yes.
Yes. Miss Walker?
Yes, sorry, thank you very much. So I guess in preparation for this meeting, I did read the report, the Neighborhood Traffic Management Program, and it was very informative, but I was actually quite concerned that it didn't seem to go far enough, because I have serious concerns about life safety, not just pedestrians, not just bicyclists, but actually even people driving cars at certain intersections that are extremely dangerous. And I think most of the town folks know where those are. I live in Lindenwood, and I'm talking about the Linden Gate, the James Gate, the Oak Grove intersection, and also the Watkinson Middlefield T. Those are, I mean, I don't have the data, I'm sure you do. I would love to see it, because I'd be willing to bet that there are more accidents at those intersections than almost anywhere else. And you know what? None of the things that I read about in the program document got to the level that would fix that, because it would take a stop sign or a traffic light. It's not going to happen with a circle or anything like, a traffic circle.
Okay, well, thank you for your comment. We do appreciate the feedback, and we do request that you actually enumerate those, whether it's on the map or otherwise. In addition to the Neighborhood Traffic Management Plan, what you'll find on the website is the long-range traffic analysis that was done, and it actually does cover some of the major routes, and we do want to hear what the concerns are on the major routes as well. And so, for example, the Alameda Corridor Study looked at Alameda in particular and had some recommendations there. But the townwide study did cover other major routes where there are some major mobility issues, and that includes some areas along Middlefield as well as along Valparaiso and other areas. So we do, again, we're not here to talk about what the answers are yet, but we do want to hear from you where you think those major problems are. So thank you for raising those. Please do include those items in your feedback through the tools and in the meetings that we'll be breaking out. Okay, thank you. Do we have any other participants that have any general questions before we move into the breakout rooms? At this point, I don't see any. Oh, we have one, so hold on just a second. Mr. Russo.
Yes, thank you for taking my question. I have a major concern with the amount of construction going on in the town, given or having the multi-ton trucks that obviously our roads are not capable of holding, and also the large amounts of earth-moving equipment that is moving up and down the road. It creates a serious problem for walkers, for bikers, for people walking dogs and things like that. And with the size of houses going up right now around here, it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years to complete it. So I've seen a town, I've been here 33 years, I've seen a town which has been largely under construction for the past 2 decades. And I do not think the roads are capable of holding the equipment that is coming in and out of here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So at this point, we are going to start moving folks into the
Robert?
breakout rooms.
This
Yes.
this is Anthony. I think Ms. Briscoe may have been raising her hand. If she,
I didn't know how to
no worries, you've got the floor.
do that. I live on Selby Lane, and I have some major concerns about the cut-through traffic from Woodside Road and the speeding. I also would like to ask a question. From our property line where our fences and gates are, there seems to be about a 10-foot swath of land that we have to maintain, but I don't think we own. So does the town of Atherton own the property and we just have to maintain it?
Well, I'm happy to talk to you specifically about your property and that kind of thing outside of the scope of this meeting.
Every single property. That my
Yeah,
suggestion
so
is, if we don't own it, perhaps the town could make use of that property, that piece of land in front of our homes, making a, I'm looking at a lot of young families now who live here, and it is very difficult to push a baby stroller on all of our streets because of the traffic that is going through. Now, I live in area 3, so, you know, Almondrell, Tuscaloosa, Atherton Avenue are my streets. And it is very challenging. I watch these young moms trying to push a baby stroller with the traffic coming through, and it would be wonderful if we don't own that piece of property, maybe for the town to develop it into a walking lane on one side of the street or the other. It wouldn't matter which side. You don't have to take both sides. I would happily give up my piece in the front of my land. So I think it's dangerous. When I come through off the Alameda, there is you cannot cut through on Oak Knoll during certain times of the day. I think it's 7 to 9 and 4 to 6 off of whatever that side street is. It's not AB, it's not the Alameda, whatever it is, it's by the graveyard. And perhaps some of the signs could be put up so that the cut through traffic is not so intense, and the congestion on El Camino has forced ways to push all the traffic through Menlo Park and through Atherton.
Yeah, well, thank you for the information. We appreciate it. And if, like I said, the map is a great place to put notations for where you think those walking paths would be ideal. It's an opportunity for you to actually kind of draw out particular areas where, this is to everybody, where you think that there are issues with regards to safety and mobility, and kind of highlight where the town should be looking at potentially putting in some additional pedestrian facilities.
We've actually asked for speed bumps on Selby for a number of years, and nothing's happened. And I think that would probably help with some of the speeding.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, we have one more raised hand, and I'm going to call on her. But again, what we're going to do is going to break out so folks can talk about particular issues in their neighborhoods. And so with that, I have Colleen Haight.
Hi, I just wanted to echo Ms. Briscoe's concerns. Also living on Selby, I see the exact same thing. Recently, having renovated the front of our house, there is room there for pathways, and the city demands it when you do renovate, that you put in a pedestrian walkway of gravel or whatever. But the speeding and the cut-throughs and the Google buses and the high-tech buses, no amount of walkway is going to fix that issue. The buses at least don't speed, but the other people cutting through the neighborhood not only speed, but they blow through all of our stop signs.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so we're going to start migrating folks over. There may be a few folks that will still be lingering as we move through. And if you haven't pre-registered, we may be asking you, actually, if you wouldn't mind in the chat window, to mark east or west, and what that refers to is east of El Camino or west of El Camino, so that we can facilitate moving you over into those breakout rooms. And so with that, I'll put up a little map here. And so basically areas 1 and 2 are the areas east of El Camino, and then areas 3, 4, and 5 are the areas west of El Camino. You're all familiar with that. And so we'll be starting to migrate folks over. Feel free to reach out directly. If you have the invite on your screen to join the breakout room, please go ahead and click join, and you'll be migrated over. Our host should be there shortly to guide you through.
This is Anthony. I'm just assisting with the room. So if for some reason you don't get an invite pop up on your screen, I will send you a message or just unmute you to ask you which room you'd like to be assigned to.
Okay. And then for those that are not on the computer that are joining us by phone, we'll call on your phone number and ask you so that you can provide us with the input. And so the first one of those, what's that?
4961, I need to know where they're going.
Oh,
Okay, 496.
I live on Stern Lane by Atherton Avenue. So is that,
Oh, that's going to be west of El Camino.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so Anthony, 4961 is west.
So which room is that?
2.
That is 2.
Okay, and we've got, let's see here, call-in user 1. Is that one of the consultants?
I don't think so. So we don't have a phone number. Please go ahead and let us know. You're unmuted. Okay, why don't we move over to 3857. 3857.
Bingo. I think you reached the chief.
Okay. Mute.
Oh, okay.
I think
How
co-hosts
about,
can go by themselves if you guys are ready.
Yeah,
Co-host can go ahead and
yeah,
join.
the host should
I'll
go.
clean up the rooms.
Kirk Everett.
Hi, it's actually Rebecca. My husband's Kirk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Rebecca, which side would you like to be on, east side or west side?
Room 2 will be great for me. Thank you.
Room 2, great. Anthony, you can also move on Miss Walker to east of El Camino.
And Yvonne, she's already been assigned.
Okay. How about Julia Wall? I'm trying to unmute, it's not working. There
One,
you go.
east of El
Julia?
Camino. East of El Camino.
East of El Camino, thank you.
As a co-host, I don't see a breakout room option.
Where would you like to go, George?
Either.
No, I'm just saying, you got others who are listed as co-hosts here. They may not see one either.
Yeah, we don't see.
Yeah, that is
Last
correct.
one.
Anthony, you would have to assign us
Okay.
to our
Yeah, can you
respective
go ahead
groups.
and, Anthony, why don't you go ahead and move the hosts out, the co-hosts out?
All right. So let's just go down.
I think we
Paul
have
and
Ian
Martin.
and Divya going into room 1.
Divya and who else?
Ian.
Divya and Ian.
Okay.
And then you have Ria and Dewal going into room 2.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Anthony,
after
can
that,
you
you can
do
unmute
Ria
everybody.
again? Oh, okay, right there.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and unmute everybody that's in the main room here.
So Robert, we had Aurelie just in case if we needed a Spanish speaker. If not, then I can just have her leave.
Okay, I don't know that we need the Spanish speaker at this point. Okay.
Put me in.
We have somebody listed as caller user 1. Calling user 1.
Where are you going, George?
Their name.
Area 2, Fair Oaks, Lloyden Park.
Yeah, so that's going to be east of El Camino, Anthony. And then Councilmember Lewis. Sorry, you're muted.
Who is 3857, Robert?
That's the chief of police.
Oh, that's the chief. Chief, do you want to go somewhere in particular?
Anthony, could you please have Nayan go to room number 2?
Done.
Okay. We have Sally Herrick is rejoining via audio.
Yeah, hi, this is
Ms.
Sally
Herrick?
Herrick.
Hi.
Sorry
Hi.
about that.
Which side would you like to go to?
Well, I
East
think
of El
I'm
Camino or west?
sorry, I was unavoidably taken away. I think I'm on the east side of El Camino.
Okay, Anthony?
Room 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Really, if you want
can
to
you-
leave, that should be fine.
All right. Anthony, I don't know if you want to reach out to Councilmember Lewis. You can unmute Councilmember DeGolia as well.
Well, Mayor DeGolia, which room would you like to be assigned to?
Probably north of Atherton Avenue.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be west of El Camino,
West of
Anthony.
El Camino.
So room 2. So you should get a pop-up that has an invite for you to join the breakout room.
Robert, can you see the breakout room icon at the bottom? I don't see.
That's strange.
I don't.
You don't. Neither of you see the breakout icon at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you want me to?
And I
assign
think that
you
was
both
the
rooms?
issue that the host had as well.
Why don't I try to assign you guys both to rooms so that you can see how do you join and come out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can
Well, no,
go.
I know we know how to join and come out. I just don't have the. You can assign us. That's I think what needed to happen is that you need to assign us to both.
I can't assign you to both. It's one or the other.
Okay. All right.
Maybe,
you have
Robert, you can go to 1 and I can go to 2. Either way is fine.
That sounds fine. I don't think that there's anybody else left in the main room, Anthony, other than the council member, the chief, who has not indicated where he wants to go, and then Yvonne has, Miss Walker, I'm sorry, should be in the area east of El Camino, and then Miss Herrick is back in the main.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sign off. I'm so sorry. Is this going to be available
Oh,
later
that's okay.
by recording or anything like that?
Yeah, we'll be providing information back to everybody with regards to the input that we've received. You are welcome to provide your input online or via email.
Well, I already did it early on when I got the first message.
Great.
Yeah. So, but I definitely, I apologize for tonight. I've had some complications, so I'm going to have to leave. But
That's okay.
I will.
Well, we thank
follow
you
up.
for joining us for as long as you did.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Hello. How you doing, Elizabeth?
Hi there. Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth Lewis, and I just want to thank our staff. Robert, you've done a great job. George, we've been working on this traffic management plan for a long time. It's a very serious issue throughout our town. I think all of our residents, me included, suffer or experience congestion, delays, and safety issues that we really need to address. And I think that our town is taking this on in a very thoughtful way. I commend Robert, our Public Works Director. He's an amazing guy and he understands all of this. I agree with so many of our residents' comments, Pat and Colleen, about we need to protect our residents from danger with baby strollers and bicycles and things like this. We're not the town that we were 50 years ago with a very modest amount of traffic. We have a tremendous amount of pass-through traffic. So I am all for protected bike lanes or using some of our right-of-ways if we can get residents to buy into it, as some of our residents have just suggested that they'd be willing to, in order to give our mothers with little babies and bicycles and pedestrians some safety. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I look forward to the next one.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, did you want to jump into the breakout room for your neighborhood to hear what people are saying?
I do, and I'm sorry, I had to log off for just a minute or two, but which
Oh, that's
breakout room
okay.
am I in?
You'll be in number 2. Anthony, can you invite her to room 2?
Okay, so I'm gonna click on,
Join. There you go. Chief?
Just remember, you're still being recorded.
Yes. Okay, did you send an invite?